Thank you guys for tuning into Spiritual Beauty Ministry. So I remember when I was at a certain place in my life and there was this individual who I had a tendency of having a hard time with saying no to. And so I will always say yes when I know I should say no. And I never understood why the very thing that this individual was struggling with, why did it always come to my door? Why did it always present itself to me? And it was because I always said yes. I know I should have said no, but instead I said yes. And when I did that, I end up hurting them more than helping them. See, what I want you guys to understand is that every time you step in to do something that God wants to put his hands in, you are keeping that individual from their growth. You are taking it from the place in the season that God is saying, this is where I want them to be right now. And when you step in and you try to take them from a place that you feel like they don't deserve to be in because it's an uncomfortable place, you are taking away from the thing that God is saying, hey, I am using them right now in this moment. I am using this right now in this season. So I need you to be able to be patient and work with me while I work on them. And so what happens is that when we try to step in, we are keeping them from God's hands. And we keep them from God's hands. He's not able to do what he needs to do as far as taking them to the next version of who they need to be. Every time you enable their addiction, you're only keeping them longer in their bondage. You think that by saying yes to them is helping them, but by you not saying no, it is only keeping them from the healing that God wants to do through them. Your yes to them is keeping them from the yes that God wants from them. You need to stop keeping them in their comfort because all it's doing is not allowing them to rise to their change. Only reason why I kept coming to my door is because I kept opening the door. See, how can they walk through the door to change if I kept opening the door that held the comfort of their chains? There are people in your life that you may have felt like you're obligated, or I can't say no to them, or I can't be this person to them because you know what, I don't want them to feel this way, I don't want them to feel that way. But every time you give them a yes when they should receive a no, you are denying them growth. Every time you give them a yes when they should be receiving a no, you are denying them growth. The reason why God wants you to stop saying yes, because when you stop saying yes, they can't help but to give him a yes. See, God is wanting a yes, Lord, I surrender, but they cannot give a yes, Lord, I surrender if you keep on being their resource. See, God wants to get them to a place to where they can no longer depend on the resource and they only can depend on the source. But if you keep on being the resource, how will they ever know him as the source? God is wanting you to take your hands off of it. God wants you to take your hands up off of it so that he can step through it. You cannot change it. It will not be until he steps in and he do the delivering. You have to allow him to do what he has to do if you want to see the change that you want to see come through.